Russian troops have received a large batch of Su-57S in a new technical configuration. At the same time, Russian fighter jets were spotted in Algeria, and soon they will appear in the Middle East. Who will receive them, and what caused the anger of the United States? How are the upgraded Su-57S different, and how do they change the balance of power? We will talk about this, about the new hero of the week, as well as about Russia's achievements in the field of artificial intelligence after a brief summary of positive news. The Soyuz 2.1B launch vehicle with spacecraft of the Ministry of Defense successfully launched from the Plesetsk Cosmodrome, and the Proton-M launch vehicle successfully launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Another batch of Su-57 aircraft has been delivered to the troops, and another batch of BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles has been delivered to the troops. The United Engine Corporation has presented a new M105 piston engine for small aircraft. In Ijevsk, Kazakhstan, production has started on the naval version of the TORM 2KM anti-aircraft missile system for Russian Navy ships. The Kalashnikov concern has started mass production of the modernized 9mm SR-2M submachine gun. In the Vladimir region, production of auto components has been launched. In the Sverdlovsk region, a plant for titanium blanks. And in the Leningrad region, production of cryogenic equipment. On January 29, 2010, the prototype of the newest T-51 aircraft, piloted by honored test pilot Sergei Bogdan, made its first flight. 16 years have passed since then. The aircraft was named Su-57 and turned into a multifunctional frontline aviation complex designed to accomplish a wide range of combat missions. This week, another batch of Su aircraft was delivered to the troops, and for the first time, the supplier's official press release emphasized that it was a large batch. Moreover, the new technical configuration implies the presence of updated onboard systems and a new weapon suite. In particular, observers noticed the 101 KSU module, which provides all-around coverage in the ultraviolet spectrum. This allows for automatic detection of threat sources and active countermeasures. Throughout all 16 years, the aircraft has been evolving, flexibly adapting to new tasks. At the end of 2025, the Su-57, with the advanced 5th generation engine, Product 177 took to the skies for the first time. It is also known that work is underway on the Su-57 M1 modification with the AL-51F1 second stage engine, featuring a flat nozzle and thrust vectoring control. A special export version of the aircraft, the Su-57E, has also been created, and last week it made quite a stir. Additionally, footage of the Su-57 flying over Algeria has spread online. They became yet another indirect confirmation of unofficial information that it was to this country that Russia sold the first batch of such aircraft last year. This is not surprising, since Algeria is a traditional buyer of Russian military equipment. However, the United States immediately responded and stated that they could punish Algeria with sanctions. But it seems that Russia is not afraid of this, since all potential buyers who are afraid of the Americans have long since broken off trade relations with us. However, there are enough of those who are not afraid. Speaking at the Inoprom exhibition in Saudi Arabia, the Russian Minister of Industry and Trade, Anton Alikhanov, announced that contracts have already been signed for the supply of Su-57S to the Middle East region, without disclosing information about the buyer. But there aren't that many options, and most likely it's about Iran. The Iranian Air Force fleet has long been outdated and mainly consists of F-4E and F-5EF aircraft from the Vietnam War era, as well as planes built back in the Soviet era, and a very modest number of modern Russian Su-35S. According to foreign media, Russia intends to sell Iran 48-year-old Su-35S and an unspecified number of Su-57S And this is already an open challenge to the Americans. And here's why. The Chief of United States Naval Operations, Admiral Daryl Caudle, recently called for speeding up the program to develop the new carrier-based stealth fighter, the F/A-XX. According to him, in a few years, the main United States Navy fighters, the F-18S, will no longer be able to operate freely in Iranian airspace due to the strengthening of its air defense. And it is the F-18S that will bear the main burden of combat operations, if it comes to that. The admiral added that China and Russia are sharing their technologies with anti-American forces, so there is no time to waste. The problem is that the need for the 6th-generation F/A-XX fighter, which will replace the F-18 and complement the F-35, has been discussed in the United States since 2008. But no money has been found for its development, and this year it seems the project has been pushed to the back burner altogether, with priority given to the development of another 6th-generation aircraft, the F-47. But that one hasn't been created yet either. As for the F-35, which is in service, including with Israel, it continues to experience serious problems with software updates and more. Thus, the Americans are seriously concerned about Russia's ability to deliver the Su-57 to the Middle East, which, by their own admission, could potentially provide air superiority. This is partly due to its extensive combat experience, including suppressing air defense systems, engaging in air battles, and conducting operations in well-defended enemy airspace. This is nothing less than a disruption of the balance of power in the region, and it seems that Russian aviation already has other buyers as well. Another likely buyer of the Su-57 is Ethiopia. The air force of this country is almost entirely made up of Soviet and Russian aircraft, and recently new Yak-130 combat trainer aircraft purchased from Russia appeared at an air show, although their delivery has not been officially announced. Relations with this country are now developing rapidly. Russia plans to build a nuclear power plant there, a large aluminum plant, and automobile factories for KAMAZ Ulyanovsky Avtomobilny Zavod and Gorkovsky Avtomobilny Zavod. Western analysts also suggest that the Su-57 will be supplied to Vietnam and North Korea, and we've already talked more than once about plans for joint production with India. And, according to the latest information, preparations are going quite successfully. All of this is very good news because exports allow us to develop our own industry and create new types of weapons. It's no wonder the Americans are so actively pushing the sale of their products around the world and trying to crush competitors with sanctions. But if you think about it, the main thing in last week's news is that Russia, apparently, has overcome the difficulties with launching truly large-scale aircraft production and has started delivering the first major batches to its own troops. And they're also building planes for export. If last year we officially set a record for the production of military aircraft, this year it will be broken worldwide. Today there is simply no other country that could handle such a challenge on its own, and we congratulate all of us on that.